Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be working on a Goblin from Reaper Miniatures. So it's a pretty cool little set. There's 4 of them in the pack, but I'll show you one of them that I did. So check it out. Thanks. Alright, so as always I started with my black primer, and we're going to just start doing a base coat on this guy here. So on the base coat for the leather, I'm going to use a Coat to Arms Dark Flesh number 216. Then I'm going to follow it up with a little bit of Coat to Arms Horse Tone Chestnut number 223. That'll be the next level of highlight on that brown leather. So next paint I'm going to use is a little bit of Hall Red from Vallejo and a little bit of Brown Rose. So I'm going to use a kind of a mixture of them for the base skin tone. Then once that dries, I'm going to go with just the Brown Rose by itself to start that next highlight level. Follow that up with a soft tone wash by Army Painter on all the flesh areas. Next we're going to use a little bit of AK Ivory. What I'm going to do is just some dots around on his tongue, kind of highlighting the edge more, concentrating the dots a little bit closer. And then I'm going to do the fingernails and toenails. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this soft tone wash again and go over the fingernails, toenails, and the skull on his belt and stuff. So I'm taking that ivory again and kind of hitting the highlights on the skull, the fingernails and toenails, and those little 2 tusks in his belt, along with the skull by his necklace. So now it's time for the highlights on that leather, and we're going to go with the Coat to Arms Rat Brown number 119. So now I'm going to use a little Master Series Paint Clear Red and go over the tongue. I want the white to show through in some spots, and then that hull red base tone to fill the shadows. So now we're going to take a little bit of AK, the gray base, and do the base coat of the weapons. Now we're going to take a little bit of this gray highlight, also the ammo MIG. We're going to start building up some of the highlights on the weapons. I want these to look abused. I don't want them to have a high sheen to them. I'm going to just do a little bit of highlight here and there, but what I'm going to do afterwards is cover my rust anyway. So I'll start with a little bit of hull red and a little bit of packing foam and start kind of stippling that on once that highlight had dried. Then we're going to take a little bit of orange brown by Vallejo and same technique, and just start covering some of that some more of that surface area of the weapon. I'm not trying to cover all of it. I want some of the grays to show through. I want some of the hull red to show through. But that top rust coat. Now we're going to go with the orange rust. This is Vallejo's Model Air. This one's really thin. So we're going to use a brush and just kind of be a little more selective as to where we're putting this now. So now for the wood on the weapons, we're going to use a trio of paints: Oak Brown, Monster Brown, and Banshee Brown, all by Armory Painter. We're going to start with the base of that darker, the Oak Brown. We're going to follow it up with a little bit of the Monster Brown in the next stage, and finish it off with highlights of the Banshee Brown. So next color up on the list is going to be a little bit of Gray Shadow by MIG. I'm going to use this darker gray to go in and start kind of hitting some of the highlights on the hair. I don't want a lot of shine to it, but just some of the highlights. Bring them out a bit. So we're getting really close to being done on this guy. I'm going to take a little bit of Coat d'Arms Magic Metal and do a base coat on his earring. I was kind of debating on what color to paint it, so I decided to go ahead with this brass color by Coat d'Arms. I didn't figure maybe he'd have a gold earring. Maybe brass is the way to go.